let's talk about love with Leah. I'm your host, Leah, and I have a special guest with us today, Faith and Newton. They're going to be talking about love and relationships and everything that people go through in those relationships. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for having us, Leah.
You're so welcome. So, the first question we're going to start off with, what is a relationship to you? Like the meaning of it.
The meaning of a relationship, that's
Mm-hmm.
a little. I think the basis of a relationship has to do with coexisting.
Okay.
Like, in a defining a relationship is two people who can comfortably and easily communicate with each other and live with each other in a way that's not demeaning or painful to either one. I think that's a relationship.
Okay. Newton.
Yeah. Well, relationship to me has to do with a lot of consistency. Like y'all need to be able to grow with each other, build with one another, and y'all need to be able to build a bond. You know that no one else could break that, and just always being there for one another, like and being supportive.
Right.
And that's what a relationship is to me.
Some people believe that in order to have like a strong relationship that you need to have a to be on a same like level playing field. So like a foundation needs to be set down. Do you guys agree with that statement that it needs to be a foundation, or no, just jump right into it like the typical cliche, oh, it was love at first sight or something like that?
I think that it should. I think more so it should be like a, how to describe it, like a sail, like a sailing boat. You got to take your time with it, because if you, for example, like yeah, like I said about a sail, you taking your time, you letting the wind and the water just flow. If you go with the speedboat, once you run out of fuel, what do you have after that? Y'all move too fast into it. So I just feel like you should be able to take your time and just see how everything goes. It's all in God's plan. That's how I see it with that.
Oh, I like that answer.
To be completely cliche,
Don't
I
be a
believe in love at
cliche.
first sight. I believe there's more than one way to fall in love with somebody. You can
Mhm.
fall in love with their attitude, their persona, the way they carry themselves, and that can be your foundation. Love at first sight can be your foundation for a relationship. Like, but at the same time, if you're going when you're going too fast, how do you know when to stop?
Hmm. Right. I can definitely agree with that.
If you're falling off a cliff,
Yeah.
ugh.
No, please don't have us falling off a cliff today, please. So my next question, I'm sorry. Are you guys currently in relationships?
No,
No,
It's complicated.
it's complicated.
It's complicated.
it's
Can we
wanted
dabble
but
in
not
that?
needed.
It's wanted but not needed. That's,
Wanted but not needed.
Mm.
Okay, so can we dabble in that? Why is it complicated?
it's complicated because communication is a big thing to me, and
Yeah.
being completely honest. Currently, I am working on a relationship with someone who is not who he says he is 100% of the time. Like with me, when he's with me, he is one person, and then I find out from somebody else that he's not who he says he is. And honesty and being 100 is a big deal to me. So if you're not who you say you are all of the time, how am I supposed to trust you?
Mm.
Yeah, for me, I'm just big on like when people lie. Like that's my main problem. Like I just keep it honest no matter what it is. If it hurts you or not, I just feel like you need to let your partner know. But now people just lie for nothing, for the littlest things, for no reason at all, and I don't understand that. But
So why do you think they lie? Because I'm pretty sure everybody has been in a relationship where you've had your partner lie to you, and they'll try and sugarcoat it and say, "Oh, well, no, it was a white lie" or something like that. But what do you think was their reasoning of starting out that lie?
People lie because the truth hurts. Like, I've lied several times. We love our partners, so we don't want to hurt them, but we are human. Like, sometimes things just happen. So we lie because we don't want to hurt you. At the same time, we don't want to admit that we could ever do anything worth lying about.
yeah, I totally agree with that. Like there's honestly no other way to describe that. Because to be honest, to me, I don't feel like if you really love somebody, there's no excuse to lie. What are you lying for? Like that doesn't really make any sense to me. But
Well, how do
I
you know
do
when?
not agree with that at all. Oh
Well,
my
come on,
goodness.
let's talk
Well,
about it.
there
This
was
is Let's Talk About Love. Let's talk about it.
there's sometimes there's a reason to lie. If not like when it comes to cheating, you should always tell your partner about that stuff. But if it's something
Facts.
that your partner doesn't need to know because nothing happened, it would cause distrust or uncertainty. Then there's no reason that you need to tell your partner if they don't need to know. It was not something that's relatively important or will
I
help
mean,
your relationship progress or halt it completely. Then it's not important to tell your partner.
I understand that completely, but I just feel like, like I understand what you said, that when it's something little, you don't really want to bring it up because you don't want to cause any confrontation or nothing like that. But if it's gonna be something that's coming consistently, I feel like you need to let them know, even if it is something little, because the littlest thing can break your relationship. Because if you keep hiding something for a certain amount of time, it eventually will come out, and then it might not come out in your words, it might come out from somebody else, and that causes problems.
Right.
So
So my question to you both: say if like you were just so happily, like that's a big no, but you just so happily came across your partner's cell phone. You're gonna be tempted to look at it. And curiosity killed the cat, huh? But you're gonna be tempted to look at side of it and see if they're being honest and open. I'm so sorry. What's going on with my voice today? Yeah. uh, my question to you: do you think it's for you to tell him or for you to tell her, "I went through your phone"? Would that be considered a lie? Like, is that a secret?
Let Newton go first.
Oh man.
for me, I don't go through phones. I don't feel that, because if you go through a phone, you're going through that phone searching for something.
Okay.
I don't want to have the thought of thinking that I want to have that thought that you're doing something wrong. I don't want to assume. Like, I want to trust you enough. I'm not gonna instantly pick up your phone and just looking like, oh yeah, what? I'm not doing that. Because if I find something, I know how I might react. So I'd rather you just come and tell me, or because that phone thing, I'm not feeling that. I just can't do that. But if I did, and I did see something, of course I'm gonna bring it up,
Right.
no matter what.
Right.
I mean, if it's something little, like, nowadays people just DM each other or something, I don't sweat off that. But little flirtatious comments in a text message, I might have to confront you and say what's going on with that.
Faith.
Well, in my relationships, your phone wouldn't just be laying there. I would have your password, but you
That's
would
true.
also have mine. Like it goes back to this whole thing about trust. If I have your password and you have my password, there's no need, because one day I might just need to use your phone for something. My phone might die in the middle of nowhere, and I need to use your phone to call my mother and tell her where I'm at. If I take your phone and there's something on it, then you don't care about my feelings because I have your password. So if you're gutsy enough to still be flirting and texting other females while I have your password, then you obviously don't care about how I feel.
Right.
So.
But he tells you he loves you.
He tells you he loves you. Everybody says they love you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So how do you know when it's real?
You know when it's real when.
That's hard to say, because you can make it. Some people can make it seem like they are the one, like just the. I feel like, well, let's say the way they make you feel inside, like when you having the worst day possible, and you just can see, just their presence makes you happy. They don't even have to say anything. Just you seeing them just makes you smile. You wake up next to them, you just look at them and just grin. Like, you just happy just to be around them. They don't have to talk. You don't even have to say a word. And like that to me is when you can find out if that is the one that you really want. Like when they go the extra mile for you. Like when I say extra, I mean extra mile. Like that right there tells me that this is the one that I want, or I want this to be a future thing. Like I want us to have, a life with each other and stuff like that.
Okay. Faith. Oh, come on now. Let's talk about it.
How do you know when love is real?
Yes.
I don't think you can ever know when love is real. I mean, the divorce rate for the United States is really high. I think it's just.
You're not wrong.
Well, my name is Faith. You just have to trust that you're making the right choice, because you could be dating somebody, not dating. You could be married to somebody for 50 years, and then all of a sudden they're like, I've fallen out of love with you. And
But do you think by chance if those people would have took the time out to make that foundation, have that strong foundation again, to know each other inside and out, do you think that they would be in the position, like you said, 50 years something later, getting a divorce?
I think that things happen and people change over time, and situations and circumstances. We might not always be moving towards the same direction, even if we know each other inside and out. We might not always be moving toward the same goal. I'm 50 years down the line, I might be somebody completely different.
Yeah,
That is true.
because it comes with a lot of sacrifices. One of you will have to sacrifice a lot of stuff for the other, or it might just be the both of y'all. But it's a lot, you know. And sometimes people just get too overwhelmed with it after years of it, and then they just fall out of love. That's just how it go.
It's a hard thing to fall out of love, but I agree with everything that y'all saying. Most definitely. Having a relationship is hard. Trusting somebody is hard.
Yeah.
Loving somebody is hard. It is. And I mean it's a do or don't situation, you know. It's a hit or miss, but I guess it's just life in general, just love. But one thing I do know for a fact, that everybody in this world is looking for love, and it comes in different shapes and forms and everything. Like it's going to come at you in many different directions and whatnot. So, but I agree with everything that y'all saying today with me talking about love. Oh man. Okay, let me see. We did not talk about cheating. What's your definition of cheating?
You want to go?
You go.
All right. My definition is cheating. My definition of cheating is just any flirtatious text, any, full hugs. That's not. I'm sorry. That's cheating.
Let's indulge into
like,
these hugs.
Like I know. Like what I mean by that is
because some people think that hugging
what I
is
mean
cheating.
by that is like there's different types of hugs. I feel like everybody should know this. Like if you holding a person for a certain amount of time, like real life engaging, and y'all like like when you about to kiss somebody, like basically like that, but y'all just holding it. To me, that's just signs of that's a little bit of signs of like like come on now, like what you doing, it's just a little signs of showing that you might be messing around with that person, that, and like I mean little things like if you respond to somebody, like a message of, but if it does not pertain to being flirtatious, then I don't think that's cheating. But anything past just a friend type of conversation, yeah, that's cheating in my opinion.
Faith.
Physical, mentally, anything like that.
A short snippet of cheating.
Cheating is any physical action that you wouldn't do with your girl, that you would normally do with your partner, with somebody else. Because I'm a proud believer that actions speak for themselves.
Yes,
they do.
You can say anything out your mouth, but you will do what you're thinking.
So if you guys had to leave our audience with something today, our speakers and stuff that's listening in, what would you tell them about love? Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
Don't cheat.
I was about to say the same thing, but can't say the same thing twice.
Don't say it.
But I would say just keep your mind just right. Keep yourself right. Love yourself first before you try to love somebody else, because you can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself.
Right.
If you don't have self-worth, then that person, it would just be just another wasteful relationship, to be honest, because it won't last.
Right.
So yeah, just love yourself.
Well, remember, folks, love yourself. Put trust, communicate, have a foundation in your relationship, and you should be okay. And thank y'all for tuning in to Let's Talk About Love with Leah. See y'all next time.
You good?